I did not have high expectations for World Domination album because I'm so in love with Unseen World, and I know I should. But I didn't. I didn't have really high expectations. I'm like, oh, it'll probably be pretty good. Because the other albums were good, but not my favorite. They were good. But World Domination, I was saying on the stream, I was like, wow, this is no joke. I mean, there's straight up metal riffs too in that album. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was like, I'm like, what the fuck? Did I just, like, we were freaking out about it. Frank and I on the stream were just like, they just. What did that just happen? Like a hard rock tone, and they're doing these triplets and stuff, and like doing like stuff you'd classically hear in a heavy metal band, you know, like you hear in like death metal band and stuff like that. So, to me,
there's a couple tracks on there.
It was
like
shocking.
Clang, and Clang is definitely one of them. I feel like it's got a real metal tone to it.
It was shockingly better than I expected, almost to the point where I'm like, it's a contender with Unseen World.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude.
That's how
I love that album. It's so good.
I guess that's what I really mean. That's what I really meant. I wasn't expecting it to be to the equal love I have for that album. That's what I wasn't expecting.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like how can Password compare to Unseen World kind of thing.
Yeah, because they've grown and experienced things and have, you know, as a band you get better and better as you're going.
Yeah.
Unless you change your music entirely and sell out. I'm not going to mention any bands, but you know, like generally speaking, that's what happens. You get better as a band the longer you're together. So I heard Unseen World before I heard any of their other albums. Also, I felt exactly the same as you, Alan.
Yeah, how could it be this good? If you really love Unseen World and that's the first thing you heard, like how could it be this good?
Yeah,
and you go back, you're like, Jesus Christ, they were that good then, just doing it different. Then you go to fucking Conqueror, it's like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, it's like, why are all their albums good? Like, what the fuck?
That's the thing with them.
Yeah, even when they didn't write it, the way they performed it was it was still BAND-MAID.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this. I think they're really talented.
Oh, shit. You're
really?
I don't know, man. That's controversial.
You heard it here first.
It's a controversial statement. The Rockin' Me, I think, is the most underrated track on the album. Did you get to that, Alan?
Yes.
I only got to the first 8 songs.
Well,
that's number 7. Yeah.
Okay, I'm really bad with titles, and I can't remember it. But I was telling someone this morning I'm probably gonna go back on and just listen to the album again from the start, like the actual album, because we were playing like
you'll make it to track 9.
We were doing like live performances and stuff like that, and I was like, I was talking to one of the people following the channel or whatnot, and he was like, hey man, you know, you always mention you like listening to the albums through and through. I'm like, don't try to pick a bunch of different versions, just do that fucking album like you were doing. I was like, that's what I'm gonna do, because I like the album. I know a lot of people are like, oh, live this, live that. I'm like, I like the production behind everything. I like hearing because it's not just BAND-MAID, you know, like there's hidden members in that band that make that full sound come to fruition, you know, and I love hearing that entire element. Also, I think that's why people like live, because it's more like the raw and there's no other people involved. Not saying there's no one involved, but it's more like on the spot involvement, where the album is like an orchestration between multiple people, you know.
Daydreaming's like that for me. I love the album version of Daydreaming is so freaking perfect and beautiful. The live is also just amazing too, but there's just elements in the studio version that aren't in the live. So it's almost like
different experience.
It's just two different likes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you like them for different reasons, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you know, and this is why, you know, a lot of people, especially that listen to the kind of music that we listen to, you know, as a whole, like, you know, rock and metal and stuff like that. It's hard to get some of us to appreciate the production elements afterwards. You know, a lot of people, like you said, Alan, really just want to hear the live because that's the most raw version and that's what they're basing how talented is this band. But I agree with you where it's like, it's not the 4 people or 5 people that you see on stage doesn't necessarily make up the entirety of the band.
Oh yeah.
There are other members, that unseen members that we that we don't even know their names of most of the time, you know, but they deserve so much respect too for structuring the shit out. Yep. You know, I honestly, sometimes I hate that we don't hear about that. And it's one of the reasons that, you know, and I always relate this back to K-pop, where it's like, I appreciate it so much because so many of the people that are creating that music are behind the scenes. You know,
like
you don't know who's writing that music most of the time.
For more insanity like you just saw, be sure to subscribe to Gaijin Guys, turn on all notifications, where we stream every Sunday talking about Japanese news, as well as all other podcasting platforms where it will be released later in audio form.